Hello and welcome back to the restaurant show. Right now we're joined by my friend Joe from Cold Fusion, or as I'm going to call him, the culinary creator, because every week he comes in here with something just insanely different and absolutely delicious. We're going to start off with today what I've heard is maybe the best ribs around. I haven't had the chance to try myself yet, but tell us a little bit about these ribs.
There are ribs that I've done for over 20 years. I've competed nationally with them. They've won awards. We always start with a baby back, of course. And I've tweaked a little bit about the meat over the years. I've got a meatier baby back now. So in a restaurant setting, people get more meat on the bone instead of just the smaller ones. It's also a 6-hour process to cook them. So I don't have a smoker on site, but I do know how to smoke things differently. So I smoke indoors. So
all right.
The restaurant smells great every time we do a batch of these.
Could imagine.
We start with our baby backs, of course, here.
And that's just a half rack?
This is a half rack. We offer half racks, full racks, and a rib appetizer at the restaurant. So this right here runs you $15.95, except on Tuesdays when it's $2 off every barbecue entree we have. So now it's down to $13.95. So I start with the rib. Then I splash it with some vinegar. And what the vinegar does, it's rice wine vinegar, it starts to break down the membranes of the bones. So when you cook it, it starts to tear apart the tendons and stuff in the bones. So that's what makes it really tender when you can just pull it apart instead of having to gnaw on the bone.
Sure.
Some people do dry rubs. I don't do necessarily a dry rub except for my seasoning. I put the vinegar on, then I use Joe spice. Rub it all over both sides, okay? Then we grill them. Okay, we grill them next. They take about probably half hour, 40 minutes to grill. Make sure they're nice and caramelized and charcoaled on each side. And then we do what's called a liquid smoke. I take how many racks it is, I put enough liquid smoke in a big pan, big hotel pan, and put it in the alto sham for about 5 hours. Slow cook it. And we test it by taking the middle bone of the middle rack, twisting and pulling. If that middle bone and that middle rack can come out, it's done. If it's not, it goes back in and stays there until it's tender enough to where people don't have to just keep pulling at when they're trying to eat their meal.
Sure.
We want to make it as easy as possible for them. Then it comes off out of the oven. When we get it, we keep it at a warm temperature so you don't have to microwave and stuff like that. We want to keep it warm for you. So then we put it back on the grill. Caramelize the top side with the barbecue sauce, which is just the base that we add some things to of my own recipe. Flip it over, caramelize again, and flip it one more time, caramelize the top again, put it in a high temperature oven. 500 at home would work too. Sure. It'll take about probably 4 or 5 minutes at home just to caramelize, get that nice tackiness. You don't want the barbecue sauce just poured over top.
No.
You want it there to where people can taste it. Then we take our mango relish and we put it on top. Of the rib itself. That gives a little sweetness added to the vinegar, and you get the vinegar touch at the end as well. And the mango is really sweet and nice with the barbecue sauce too.
So it just gives it a whole kind of different added flavor on top of what's already a great rib.
It's just a traditional American barbecue paired with a little bit of a mango.
Wow.
Fusing it with something a little bit different than most people do.
Okay.
So
if that doesn't have your mouth watering at home, check your pulse, because I'm freaking out right now. Those sound fantastic.
Thank you. I do have a finished product here. We can show you that.
Okay.
The ribs. This is a half rack again. That's already finished. You can see the grill marks, the caramelized barbecue sauce on top of it with the mango relish on top of that.
And I don't know if you guys can see it at home, but you can see how well that kind of pulls apart on the bone, so you get that really crispy. You get all the meat that you can out of it too.
What people have to understand too, when they're doing ribs, when you go out to eat and you have a rib, when you eat the meat off the bone, if the bone turns white automatically, then it's perfectly smoked.
Okay.
Okay, if it's still dark, that means it needs to be smoked a little bit longer, because then you have to pull the meat off the bone. So I want to make your job as easy as possible when you eat at my restaurant. I want to have to gnaw on stuff. Some people like it that way, which is fine. I've chosen to do it this way for so long that I don't deviate from it.
Like it easy. I'd prefer it easy too, because with that in front of me, I'm going to go through it as fast as I can. We also have, Tommy brought something else, the Machaca Ribeye?
It's a Machaca Ribeye.
All right.
When people ask me, well, what is that? Well, Machaca is basically, in South America, they take a big brisket, and they coffee rub it, and then they slow cook it for like 6 or 7 hours, basically make coffee beef tacos with them. Here, I took that idea off another cooking show. I actually saw it, so why can't I do that with a ribeye? So I take a ribeye, we hand cut it ourselves, it's off a loin. We do 10, 12, or 14 ounces at the restaurant. We dredge it in our Guatemalan coffee, because it's a sweeter coffee, and I mix some other spices with it, Joe spice and some chili powder and things like that to give it a little kick. Grill it, it gets nice and crusted. Okay, really nice and crusted on top. It's still how you want it done. We can cook it whatever temperature you want. So to me, it's more kind of like a Pittsburgh. If you like your stuff rare and medium rare, it's the perfect steak for it, because there's a different flavor aspect to it.
That's how I go.
Right. And then here we take our heavy whipping cream. This is the sauce that goes on top. We start with sauteing our peppers and onions with Joe spice, cut garlic, crushed red pepper.
Yep.
Then we put the heavy whipping cream in after they're about medium. You don't want them all the way done. You still want that crunch of the vegetable to it, okay? And then we take that, let it simmer down a little bit, cook that cream into it so it's a nice sauce going over top of the steak, okay? And then once that's done, you pour it over the top of the steak. And it gives you a nice little spice to that sweet coffee flavor and stuff like that. Everybody's like, well, I don't like coffee. You don't have to like coffee to like the steak. It's gonna have that aroma to it, but when you taste it, it's more of a crust.
Yeah.
There's more of a crunch to it, and it's just a really nice flavor. I've had people come and say, I'm not a steak person, but I'll eat this all the time.
So more of a texture thing than
Exactly.
opposed to
Exactly.
just the taste for it.
And with that one, this is a finished 12-ounce one that we've done.
Oh my
I did,
goodness.
and I brought that with us. It's a medium rare, so you can see the peppers and onions are still firm. They're not mushy or anything like that. You want to have the texture components to where you got the softness of the cream, but you also got the medium of the peppers, and then the crunch of the steak and the softness of the steak inside. So it's just different levels of texture each time you bite one.
Two fantastic different meals. We have the specialty ribs, the Machaca Ribeye, so those are two you can check out when you go to Cold Fusion, and everything there is fantastic. But I want to ask you a little bit, with football season coming up, we're getting into sports. What are some of the events you have going on over at Cold Fusion?
We actually, in Middleton and in Platteville, we have 7 TVs. It's a smaller place. Middleton, we have 15 TVs. And McFarland, we have 5, and that's a really small place. We focus on the sports, especially in this area with the Badgers and the Packers. We're always full on those days. We're starting to do some more drink specials with buckets of beer and things like that. People have asked me to do that, so I'm doing it.
Sure.
We're doing some game day food specials with our wings. We're going to do special those on those days as well, which we've had here before, and you saw how big those
Great
are.
wings.
So, and we're going to do a cheese and sausage tray. It's Wisconsin, so you might as well start putting that out there too.
I love it.
So people are going to start coming to that. And I have a nice little twist to I'm doing an antipasta tray for my fusion stuff. So just give people different options, cheaper prices. We're going to have some specials, game day specials for drinks and food. So we just want to keep people coming back and let them understand that we are listening to what they're saying, and we're trying to get better every day as a restaurant.
So really much more than just a restaurant you'd go to and have a nice dinner at and hang out with wife, girlfriend, whatever it may be. A chance to go out maybe with the guys and get some great food and enjoy the Brewers, Packers, Badgers.
Whatever you want to watch, we have it. So
you name it.
And we always have the Badgers and Packers on. You have to. So, and it's just, to us, the more we can cater to the community, the better.
Understandable.
So
a lot of great stuff going on at Cold Fusion. Check them out in Platteville, Middleton, and McFarland.
Yes.
That's right. So 3 locations for you guys to enjoy. Always fantastic food. Joe, thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you. Appreciate it for having me.
We'll be right back with more of The Restaurant Show.